3 bold predictions for Alperen Şengün in Turkey's EuroBasket quarterfinal versus Poland. Alperen Şengün has been nothing short of spectacular at EuroBasket 2025. At just 22 years old, the Houston Rockets star has blossomed into Turkey's unquestioned leader on the international stage, putting together a run that has captivated fans and made analysts around the world take notice. Through 6 games, Sengun has averaged an incredible 22 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 6.7 assists per game, while shooting a blistering 62.5% from the field. These numbers don't just look good on a stat sheet, they represent the complete dominance of a player who combines old-school post skills with modern versatility. Turkey has leaned on him heavily, and he's delivered, carrying his team to the quarterfinals. Now comes the biggest test yet, a showdown with Poland. Poland might not boast the superstar power that Turkey has, but they have built a reputation for being one of Europe's most disciplined teams. They play physical defense, control the pace, and use their size to limit opponents' second-chance opportunities. In other words, they are exactly the kind of opponent who could make life difficult for Sengun unless he finds another level. That's why this quarterfinal isn't just another game, it's a stage where Sengun has the chance to elevate his legacy. If Turkey is going to reach the semifinals, he will need to play not just well, but historically well. With that in mind, here are 3 bold predictions for Sengun's performance against Poland, each one reflecting how crucial he is to Turkey's EuroBasket dream. 1. Sengun explodes for a 30-point masterclass so far in the tournament. Sengun has been efficient, scoring 22 points per game on just 13.3 shot attempts. That level of efficiency is elite, but it also hints at something even scarier: he hasn't yet unleashed his full scoring arsenal. Against Poland, that could change. Their big men are sturdy but not especially quick laterally, which plays directly into Sengun's strengths. He thrives when he can face up, spin, and attack slower defenders with crafty footwork and soft finishes. If Poland decides to single cover him, he could dominate one-on-one matchups in the paint. If they double, he's smart enough to punish them with his passing. But the bold call here is that Sengun won't just hover around his usual average. He will go for 30-plus points. That means Turkey's offense will run almost entirely through him, especially in moments when the perimeter shots aren't falling. A 30-point outburst wouldn't just give Turkey the offensive punch they need, it would also send a clear message: Sengun is not only Turkey's future but also a present-day force capable of taking over games at the highest level of international competition. 2. Sengun dishes out double-digit assists. What makes Sengun such a unique player is that he's not a one-dimensional scorer. He's averaging nearly 7 assists per game, functioning as a point center, orchestrating plays, initiating fast breaks, and setting up teammates from the elbows. Poland is a team that thrives on forcing opponents into difficult, stagnant possessions. They'll likely send double teams at Sengun to disrupt his rhythm, but this is where his vision comes into play. With shooters like Shane Larkin stretching the floor and cutters like Sadie Osman and Furkan Korkmaz constantly moving, Sengun has the perfect personnel around him to rack up assists. The bold prediction: Sengun records 10 or more assists in this quarterfinal matchup. That kind of playmaking from a center is devastating because it dismantles defensive schemes. If he hits double digits in assists, it means Turkey's offense won't just be running, it will be humming. Poland would have no choice but to pick their poison, leave Sengun in single coverage, where he scores at will, or collapse on him and watch him create open shots for teammates. A 30-point, 10-assist game would instantly go down as one of the most dominant offensive performances of EuroBasket 2025. 3. Sengun records a triple-double to lead Turkey to victory. If the first 2 predictions sound ambitious, the third ties them together into a historic possibility: a triple-double performance in the quarterfinals. Sengun has flirted with triple-doubles all tournament long. With averages of 22 points, nearly 11 rebounds, and almost 7 assists, he's living in that statistical neighborhood already. Against Poland, where rebounding battles and half-court execution will be crucial, it feels like the perfect moment for him to put it all together. Imagine the scene: Sengun controls the boards, creates open looks for teammates, and dominates as a scorer. By the final buzzer, his line reads something like 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. That wouldn't just be a great performance, it would be a career-defining one. A triple-double in a knockout game would cement Sengun as one of the premier players in EuroBasket, putting him in the same conversation as legends who have carried their nations deep into international tournaments. It would also send a signal to NBA fans: this isn't just Houston's rising star, this is a gene-rational big man who shines brightest when the pressure is at its peak. Why this quarterfinal matters so much: the stakes couldn't be higher. Turkey hasn't reached the EuroBasket semifinals in over a decade, and this generation of players, led by Sengun, has a real chance to change that narrative. Poland will try to drag the game into the mud with their physical style. They'll slow down possessions, attack the glass, and force Turkey to work for every shot. But Turkey has a weapon Poland simply doesn't, a 22-year-old big man who can score, rebound, pass, and defend at a star level. Sengun won't do it alone, of course. Larkin's outside shooting, Osman's two-way versatility, and Kutma's ability to stretch defenses will all be vital. But the bottom line is this: if Turkey wins, it will almost certainly be because Sengun authored one of the great performances of his career. The final prediction: when the dust settles, expect to see a defining chapter in Turkey's EuroBasket journey written by Alperen Şengün. A 30-point scoring masterclass, double-digit assists to shred Poland's defense, a triple-double that announces his arrival as one of Europe's best. It may sound bold, but that's exactly what Turkey needs if they are going to book a semi-final spot. If Sengun comes anywhere close to this level, the conversation around him will shift permanently, from rising star to international superstar. This quarterfinal isn't just a game. It's a chance for Alperen Şengün to cement his place as the next great European big man and carry his nation to new heights.